no further delay regarding lightning issues, what will be the new brand name of our project is Polarizer. Polarizer.ao will be online tomorrow morning, and it will still look pretty much the same than the page. We didn't change much, but what we are from now on expressing is that we are actually looking for polarization. We don't want to reduce polarization. What we want is harm-free polarization. We want polarization that doesn't lead to radicalization. So Polarizer is the brand name that we will be carrying on. And if you are to stick around until the NHO8 tokens presentation, you will see that it fits nicely with what we are planning to do. For those of you that haven't that are new to the concept of Polarizer / DPT, and that might have questions how it works, here's a quick introduction. We have the vision to restore the trusted role of the internet in democratic discourse. There is a common notion that the internet in the early days, let's say there was the 90s, was hoped to be like a very fresh new dimension where democracy could actually bloom and then flourish. And by now, 30 years later, we have the common impression is that the internet is broken, and that certain mechanisms actually brought out the worst instead of the best in the public sphere. We are planning to build a platform that visualizes and transforms, that makes something productive out of polarization in online discussions. And the problem we defined was that polarization causes user groups to stop talking with each other. And this, combined with the emotional amplification and the customized news supply that social media introduced to the online sphere, led to radicalization, and that on a global scale. So it is quite a big problem, and the solution we're proposing is a platform that gives crypto credits to users that maintain good relationships, that keep talking with users from other groups. And our core principles, therefore, are no harm. We definitely put that first, and it comes in combination with free speech, as free speech ends where it harms other people. I like to point out that harm is not the same as being hurt. So free speech comes with the responsibility for your own feelings. You might not like what other people say on Polarizer, but as long as they don't threaten or intimate you with threats, they will be allowed to say that. And the third rule is a design value that we applied, that we don't want any amplification. We don't want groups to cluster together. We don't want any just reactional features like a thumbs up, where you basically push somebody, where it's more about approval than actually about exchange. So also sticked that is it comes like anonymity. David had me practicing that, but I guess I just can't. Anonymity is what is a big factor here in guaranteeing that we don't offer any amplificational effects. So if we are thinking about what the Polarizer app actually looks like, we have 4 steps, where to any given topic, you will be able to publish your opinion once, and that opinion will be piled with all the other newly published opinions in the middle. And you won't be recognized. You won't get out of that pile unless you start talking with other people. So you can't do any hit and run posts. If you want to say that some election was rigged or that it wasn't, and you don't care about actually talking with other people about it, your opinion will just stay in the pile forever. But if you find someone that you consent to have a one-on-one talk with, that is when the algorithm will actually start to move you out of the pile. And we are like, you will see that that consensual principle in other parts of the design as well. The chats you're having will have a little slider, and that gives you the opportunity to continuously evaluate if you hate or if you love the talk just at that current moment. And the clue, the knack on it is that whenever the slider moves towards you loving the chat, your opinions move closer together, while hate obviously pushes you further apart. And you do have the opportunity, of course, to indicate that you simply don't know, that you are indifferent, that you're neutral to that person. So this is the Polarizer app in short. And whilst I might be the one speaking the loudest, I'm definitely I didn't do it on my own, basically, and I had a lot of support, just in theory and practice. And therefore, I would love to hand the stage to the community that has been with me since day 1, day 2, day 3, all along, basically. So, guys, just please come on up, and the stage is yours.
Hi guys, my name is Joy, and I have been with DPT since the almost since the beginning of its birth, as we can say. And I am very delighted to have you guys here today in a Sunday evening, and I'm looking forward to see you guys explain and watch us show you what we have for you guys.
Hi, my name is Jan. I've been supporting Ivan and the project since the Polarizer idea was born. Solving modern technical and philosophical problems is what I like the most. And as a blockchain enthusiast, I'm delighted to realize our project with the help of the Ethereum blockchain in future.
Hi, everyone. My name is David. Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of the DPT community. I think all of us are here for our own reasons, but unifying that is an urge to improve the quality of online discussion and to communicate better with our polar opposites. So yeah, it's great to see everyone here. I hope we can explain our concept and get it across to you. All right, thanks.
Hello, my name is
Hello,
Manuel.
guys. My name is Arpit, and yeah, okay. My name is Arpit, and I just knew about DPT uh, in 2018, and I just found that there are two things which are getting popular nowadays. One is internet, and second is peace. Internet is getting very popular, and peace is everything want peace in their life and in the world too. So this is a perfect combination for me to work with, and I just loved it. And I have been with this company for last around 2 years, and I love it. I work here as a community manager. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'll leave the stage open There's
Hi.
yeah.
So my name is Oz, and I've worked on DPT on 2 iterations, as part of Sophie, and I feel that this new concept that you just showed is very amazing, and I feel like if in the previous stages we were like you define the intention of what you want to do, and we were sort of exploring the problem space. So this algorithm is really like something innovative that can really make really grow to be something bigger, I think. And I'm interested in discussions and the idea of solving wicked problems for a long time, and I feel like many tools that are popping up and maybe can be part of how do you call it, ecology of tools that help people communicate better than Facebook.
NGO, another open source project. Otherwise, yeah.
Patrick can go ahead and join me if he wants, but hello, I'm Ariana. Patrick and I are working on basically implementing human ID and also MetaMask to the new formerly DPT login. And what human ID is trying to do is create a completely anonymous single sign-on that it basically won't keep anyone's data when they're logging in. So different from a Facebook login, we don't know anything about you. We just get your phone number, and then we don't store that either. And this is to try to make sure that people aren't especially for this case, it's really helpful for making sure people can't make double accounts if they are doing something super harmful and you guys decide you want to kick them out. You let us know and we can stop them from making a new account. If they wanted to, they would have to basically get a new phone number to do it, which is a bit challenging. Yeah, so from our end, we're doing pretty well. It's definitely a slow process, but we're hoping to get it done in about a month. So we'll keep you updated. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is quite encouraging seeing Bastian and his team, like knowing that there's other people that are not happy with the current state of online discourse and that work on a free solution as well, basically. Like this idea of just doing something good for the public. Sometimes people don't really believe and are like, yeah, well, but when will you be making money? You're just waiting, and it's good to see other people just having the same approach. I will be pasting a link now with that will lead you to a PDF. The clipboard is empty, but the link will take you to a PDF which has the draft of our press release that we want to send out tomorrow. If you see anything, basically, or you have any feedbacks, please let us know after the presentation. We will be sending it out on our social media channels. It will include the recording of the presentation, so just what I will be presenting right after now. And it will come with the new website and with the newly named social media accounts. So with no further delay, we shall start the presentation of the no hate tokens. And we do have some graphics for you, but we wanted to actually give you a personal introduction to it. So the no hate tokens will be a crypto token that you can spend within the Polarizer app. And you can earn the no hate tokens for having diverse top rated dialogues with people that you don't share the same opinion with. In other words, you earn no hate tokens for being a respected polarizer.
All right, so let's give a quick recap of what the aim of our platform is. Polarizer is a software project with the mission to restore the trusted role of the internet in public discourse. It offers a platform designed towards free and respectful dialogues between differing opinions. At its heart is a radar map that gives visual representation of polarized opinions regarding a specific topic. The mutual feedback of two dialogue participants determines the placement of their opinions on the map.
Jeet, could you bring up the graphic while Jan is getting ready?
Sorry,
the other one.
I had a problem. The no hate tokens will be minted on the Ethereum blockchain. The investors can buy them. The core team, contributors, and users can earn them. Once you have tokens, instead of immediately selling on a crypto exchange, a more fun and constructive use would be to spend them on services within the Polarizer economy. Check out the circulation graphic in the press release. You all got it?
We're waiting for Jeet to drop the circulation graphic,
Okay.
please. It will help me. I will just wait for a second. Yes, that's it. So as you can see, there is various ways you can spend no hate tokens for, and we made sure we focus on that, as we don't want to create a cryptocurrency that would just be, used basically to raise funds. No, we want to create a circulation. We want to create an ecosystem where people actually want to earn no hate tokens, as it offers them access to some features. And most importantly, this would be the Polarizer Pro account that you could get for your no hate tokens. And while we are absolutely committed to not offering any advantage to anyone for money in a public discourse, we thought long and carefully about how we could, like, what we could offer for clients. And we found out that organizations have some needs that individuals don't, and those would be that they need to integrate within their systems, and the other one was that they need to represent a certain hierarchy. So the Polarizer Pro account will enable clients with email and messenger integration, as well as offering them manager and agent roles, meaning that a manager will be able to oversee 6 agents' communication, basically. And as an individual, you are, of course, free to organize as well. And if you and 6 others want to form a group, you would be able to purchase a group account, which offers you the possibilities to publish a group consensus, to emphasize that all of you actually came together and this is the common ground that you share, basically. So to give it more weight, you would have a group of 7 with one consensus that they put forth for the discourse. And in order to derive that that consensus, DPT would would lift the restriction that you can only have one-on-one chats, and would actually offer you a group chat and other possibilities to organize your communication as a group. And while those are useful features, myself thinking that the likely most enjoyable way to spend tokens will be on entertainment, including placing bets on dialogues as to bet how will two people, what will be the outcome of two people having a dialogue. Will they be able to turn that dialogue again? How, like, who is he gonna have the next clash with? How long will they make it? Those kinds of just bets that you could place on somebody else's communication. The other way you could just spend tokens for fun would be to purchase custom items to personalize your user experience. So you could have like a unique color that represents your opinion. You could have that golden skin that shows that you basically care about how your experience is. And you could simply play games with all the content that is on the Polarizer platform. There could be quizzes where you just are asked which is probably the most hated opinion, which of the following chats turned out to be the best. Those kind of content basically use. Least but not last, you can spend your no hate tokens on a verified account, and this obviously closes or closes the circle on what Ariana mentioned, that you could give your opinion more weight by stating to others that you are not having 10 accounts, but you actually just own one verified account. You still could have a lot of anonymous accounts. And we had a bit of a question at an earlier point, and I think the best way to picture it is if you have the radar map with all the opinions, then you could easily see, oh, there's a lot of verified opinions in this corner, and there's no verified accounts in the other corners. So there's probably like less of a legitimacy, let's say, within that side. So you're adding some extra weight to an opinion that you have verified. And you could also we don't just want to give out tokens and then take them back, but we also want the tokens to circulate between the users. And one way that was liked so far is that we plan to offer moderation services. So if two people in a chat have the impression that they want to keep talking but they can't really succeed, they could both ask and offer basically a third person to give them a small amount of no hate tokens, and they would come in and offer their neutral perspective. And obviously for with both sides paying, there wouldn't be an incentive problem. And there could be like a track record for moderators, so there could be like a little marketplace taken place. Obviously, when we mention bets, there would be losers and winners. So this is also some kind of redistribution. And we want to offer the possibility to tip anyone if you feel that they deserve a reward, simply a recognition. Maybe someone, for the first time reached good terms with the isolated group, or two people just produced outstanding knowledge, this kind. Then you can tip any opinion in any chat basically.
So guys, as we know that with no hate token comes several privileges and options for you to use in Polarizer, and in order to ensure that we ourselves has a proper democratic system and every users and every token holder has a value and a contribution channel towards our organization, we have governing systems, and the system, we can describe it as a decision making process in which the investors, the team members, the users together elect a community or a council of representative. And as you can see in the graph, each small circles represent how many representative each users or stewards or investors can elect, and this representative will be responsible for electing a executive committee. This executive committee will be mostly formed because they will be responsible in terms of quick decision making, as well as giving them a budget for the polarizer. And this council's elections and appointment will be held each year, and these councils and the community members will have a budget, and every decision the committee makes will be published and can be repealed if 3% of all token holders veto it within a short period of time. So this is the current governance systems we have for our polarizer, and if you guys have any other question regarding this, I would be happy to answer. Otherwise, that's all for me.
Yes, I'd be especially interested if this makes sense for you. If you had $1 million and you just had given us a proportion of it, is that something that you would trust to govern basically your investment? Does it make sense basically? Maybe someone that hasn't seen, that is pretty new to the community. Well, as always.
Yeah, I guess no one has any question. They understood it pretty clear.
No, maybe if I may.
Yes, please.
Thank you. No. I was just looking at this graph, and there seems interesting for me. There's and maybe for many people, it's a difficulty to understand between the relation between the token and the dollar. You're talking about $1 million from investors, and then how they become part of the same dimension under this scheme, and it seems pretty balanced, which is something that I understand that you want to have, and that is not going to, is also safe and secure. But how do they equate? I mean, one to the other. Thanks.
So it's good you're like mentioning the money basically, because we will always be coming back to that point where it's like, okay, but what about the money? And so I appreciate basically you doing that. The investors will bring in 250,000 of hard currency basically to the project. We will be giving out another, and then Jan will kill me for giving wrong numbers here, but the proportions are right there. We would be giving out another 750,000 to those that build the software and those that use the software. And there were, and those three parties basically would then hold the same amount of tokens. And that's what these, like, why the first layer, the first circle has tokens written on it. So investors are holding tokens, stewards are holding tokens, all you're all right, and users are holding tokens. So those three are all either earning or buying tokens. And through the mechanism that Jan wonderfully designed, we are giving all of them the same voting power, basically. And that equals to the same amount of representatives that they would have.
So with the tokens, someone has, they vote for a representative. The representative is part of the decision-making body of the DPT NGO and Polarizer NGO.
Yeah, they don't have to spend the token. For holding the token, you get like voting tokens, like voting right tokens, and these you use for the voting. So you don't lose the tokens if you vote.
Yeah, so it's basically like being a citizen of the polarizer state. You're when Christian did the graphic, I was like, okay, we have a 3-party parliament here. You know, there's 3 parties basically, and then they all have the same rights. They have the same vote. Yeah, just. Mm-hmm. And just to make sure, but I think you meant the same, like the representatives will be appointing committees as with 33 people. This is the number used in this graphic, but you could have a long discussion, obviously. So same as a parliament has like a set of ministers that actually take decisions. We would have executive bodies that are controlled by the parliament, and they are controlled through the money. They would just be like, okay, this is the amount of that's the budget we're giving you, and that would be basically how they control it. I'd be curious what you think about the veto period, so that it takes only 3% of all tokens, and that could obviously come from any of the 3 parties, but 3%, if like every decision is made public, and if within 3 days there's enough tokens just saying like, oh no, okay, that can't be, then that would be repelled or cancelled, paused, so veto basically. And our impression is that 3 days is a short period of time. You really need to be spontaneously reacting to something. You can't have a campaign or anything. But on the other hand, it could be, it could slow the whole process down. So yeah.
What's the goal of the veto and in this period?
To prevent corruption of the system, basically. At one point, you would have people scrubbing each other's back, and you might get in a situation where they are in opposing parties, but yet they all share the same interest in actually staying into power. So this is the direct democratic element that we wanted. The rest is basically what a democratic government looks like, and then we wanted to add this direct democratic element there in order to make sure there is always a quick feedback mechanism, basically.
I think like with all this system, it would help to go through example scenarios of how it works, like
like a scenario game, basically.
Yeah, because this is like abstract, and maybe I'm tired to get it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, we would need 10 people, and then let's see if 3 people come up and then do the 3%.
Yeah, or just like say an example. Let's say you want to decide on this kind of idea. Then how does it work? Who proposed it? Who votes on it? What stages does it go through? Like just for an example of real way this process of governance works.
So as it's Sunday, I'd like to give two last informations basically before we can have an open stage, and there would be that the first no hate token is planned to be mined on April 2nd next year, 2021. And we hope that this is the day the pandemic basically and officially ends. And with that said, I would like to thank everybody involved and everybody taking the time to listen to actually make this happen. And of course, feel free to spread no hate.